कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, अरे कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो। साहब मिले सबूरी में, अरे साहब मिले सबूरी में, मन लागो यार फकीरी में, मन लागो।
The question is how to stay at the center when there is so much that takes the mind away from the center. How do you know that you are away from the center? How do you know that?
Running thoughts stemming from fear.
It's a thought.
Yeah.
You are at the center, this is a thought, and you are not at the center, this too is a thought. I repeat this 5 times so that this goes as deeply into the mind as is possible through us. You say you are at the center. You claim that you are experiencing a bliss, a peace. That is a thought. You say you are disturbed. That too is a thought. Your affirmation has only as much value as your denial. Because the tool that you are using to either affirm or deny is not an appropriate tool. You take a microscope and you use it to gaze at the skies, and then you say Saturn has 20 rings. And then you say, no, Saturn has no rings. Do either of these statements have any value? You're using a microscope to look at the sky. Once you say the planet Saturn has 20 rings, and then upon another observation you say no, there are no rings at all. Do any of these observations have any value? Do any of these observations have a value higher than the other one? Be certain, please. This is very important. Why? The tool is wrong. You are using a microscope to look at the Saturn. Now whatever you will say will be just absurd. You are not authorized to say anything about the Saturn using a microscope. Are you getting this? Somebody takes a thermometer and uses it to say that your blood pressure is high, and another one takes a thermometer and uses it to say that your blood pressure is low. Which of these two statements is correct?
Neither.
Somebody uses a thermometer to say that your blood pressure is lower than normal, and somebody else uses a thermometer to say that your blood pressure is higher than normal. Which of these two statements is correct? Huh? Neither. In fact, you will not pay any attention to the content of the statement. The moment you come to know the basis of the statement, you reject all such statements. You say, I do not even want to know what is the substance of what you are saying. When the foundation itself is misplaced, shaky, then why must I bother about the rest of the story? When the beginning itself is so terribly wrong, then why must I listen to the rest of what the mind has to say? So, if the mind says anything about the center, It says I am at the center. It says I am not at the center. Whatever the mind says about the center, in either case, the statement is
False.
absurd. The statement is invalid. There is a basic error with the statement, which is that the mind is not capable of saying anything about the center. When you will be at the center, the mind will not know. When you will be not at the center, then there will be mind, and it will keep knowing a lot. Which leads us to only one thing. It is not what the mind says about the center that is important, because the mind cannot say anything about the center. But there is something else that is more important, which is that, is the mind saying anything? It doesn't matter what the mind is saying. The mind may say, I am feeling blissful. The mind may say, I am feeling awful. It doesn't matter what the mind is saying. Most important question is the mind saying something? If the mind is saying something, that proves that there is mental activity going on. Even if the mind is saying that it is experiencing absolute joy, then rest assured that it is just disturbance. Even if the mind is saying that it is experiencing absolute joy, then it is just disturbance. If the mind is saying it is experiencing disturbance, of course it is disturbance. But even if the mind talks of other experiences, do not give those experiences any credibility. Real home, real core, real center, real peace is not something of the mind's grasp or mind's construct, or within the scope of mind's detection. Now, our friend said, how to bring the mind back to the center? What to do when the mind is not at the center? Do not believe in this conclusion. That is what you can do. The microscope is telling you that tonight the Saturn has 40 rings, and you are coming and asking what to do, so many excess rings have come. Or the microscope is saying that tonight the Saturn has no rings, and you are coming in a very worried way and asking me what to do. All the rings of the Saturn have been stolen. What to do? A great feast. Some cosmic thief has come and stolen all the rings of the Saturn. What to do? What would I suggest? What would I suggest? Do nothing, for your observation itself is misplaced. You are never away from the center. In fact, the thought that you are at the center or away from the center is what is responsible for you believing that you are away from the center. Do not take this thought seriously. Reject it, discard it. Have tremendous faith, so much faith that you refuse to touch godliness, your center, your core, your essence, your home, with anything. You say that the mind is entitled to talk about all this and that, all the worldly affairs, and I'll listen to the mind. If the mind says that there is a shop on the left hand side, I will look at the left hand side. If the mind says that I must pay attention, there is a car coming from the other side, I will listen to the mind. Whatever the mind says about affairs of this world, I can listen to the mind, but I will not listen to the mind if it tries to talk about the essentials of life. If mind tries to talk about love, I will say shut up, not your zone. If the mind tries to talk about freedom, I will say get lost, beyond your province. If the mind tries to talk about God, I will say go away. You have no locus standi in this. in peripheral things, in trivial matters. You can go with the mind. You can heed what it is saying. But when it comes to the real things in life, when it comes to the essential, when it comes to the absolute, when it comes to realization, do not allow the mind to interfere. Interfere not only in the sense that the mind says that God is not there. It is a bigger trap of the mind when the mind says God is there. Sometimes the mind will say, no, there is no God, no truth. Do not take that only as the insubordination of mind. The mind is laying a bigger trap when mind says truth is there, God is there. Because now mind is trying to bring God and truth into its own very domain. If the mind says God is there, truth is there, it must have some way of having known that. The mind has no way. The mind only has the right to shut up, to be silent. And when the mind is silent, how will the mind say anything about silence? For God is silence. If the mind is silent, how will the mind say anything about silence? And if it is saying something about silence, it is certain that it does not know silence. It is not silent. So this question is based on a faulty premise. The premise is that sometimes we are at the center and sometimes we are away from the center. No, you are never away from the center. When you feel you are at the center, then you have just identified with the feeling unnecessarily. When you feel you are away from the center, then too you have just given weightage to the feeling unnecessarily. You must be in a zone where no thought about the center arises at all. Neither do you say that you are at the center, nor do you say that you are not at the center. No thought about the center at all. Neither do you say that God exists, nor do you say that God does not exist. Then you are really godly. We often think that those who say that there is no God are atheists, ungodly people. And those who affirm that there is a God are theists, believers, people of God. Wrong, totally wrong. Those who say that there is God are as much of egoists, as big unbelievers as those who say that there is no God. Because to say anything about God is to bring down God to your own mental domain. The real God lover will just be silent about God. Not only will he not say that there is no God, he will also not say that there is a God. He will just be silent. So, when you are totally silent about God, then you are in God. When you are totally silent about the center, then you are at the center. And when you are not silent about the center, even then you are at the center but identified with some rubbish that you are giving credence to. Giving importance to something is in your own hands. You give importance to your thoughts about the core or God because you give a lot of importance to yourself. In surrender, the primary importance is given to the truth and not to yourself. When you give the primary importance to truth and not to yourself, then you will be able to take yourself quite lightly. You will say, I cannot hold myself too important. I cannot give too much energy to my opinions. I cannot stay firm behind my opinions. I have come to know that my opinions have very little value. How can I have an opinion about God? How can I even ask a question that why am I not with God? How do I know whether I am with God or not? Any question about God, just know it as some kind of blasphemy. I am using a strong word, but do get the direction of what I am saying. The Buddha made it a point to never answer any question about God for the same reason. Pay attention to what is going on, but do not conclude. Let the bare fact be as it is. Do not come to a conclusion. Are you getting it? Observation is not about coming to conclusions. Observation is not about processing information mentally. Do not start doing that. You watch something and then you integrate it with your existing knowledge and then you want to come to some kind of a summary, an answer, a conclusion. No. Observation begins and ends with the fact. That's it. Full stop. Observation just says that Sasha is behaving in this particular way. Observation will not say that since Sasha is behaving in a greedy way, hence it is proved that Sasha is away from his center. No. How does Sasha know that he is away from the center? Has he seen the center? Has he seen himself walking at a distance from the center? It is surely some conclusion coming from his mind. It is an imagination. There may be some fact corroborating this imagination. But then just stay till the fact. Do not exceed it. The fact is, Sasha shouted at somebody. And full stop. This fact does not mean that Sasha is away from the center. It also does not mean that Sasha is at the center. It means nothing. It is just a fact. A bare naked fact. Sasha shouted at somebody. Full stop. Now do not bring your own patterns of concluding to come to some kind of a final statement. Are you getting it? Just see what is going on. Never use it to come to a conclusion about yourself. Never. Because you are nothing but the center, the core. You cannot be arrived at through some means, through thoughts, through conclusions. It is not possible. Nobody arrives at himself. People just drop the notion that they were away somewhere. Nobody ever arrives at himself. Never, never. Nobody ever gets enlightened. People just drop the notion that they were not enlightened at some point. Nobody ever attains the truth. People just drop the notion that there is anything except the truth. Do not talk so much about the center. Just drop your notions. Easy. It is not a pretty thing to be talking so much about God. God cannot be the basis of general chit chat, casual discussions. God cannot be an object that you can pick up and analyze. Hold yourself from saying anything about God, even praising God. Don't attempt even that. Don't even try to say big and nice things about God. Even that is a kind of apostasy. Just be silent. Just bow your head down and say, I am not eligible to say anything in this regard. I am not qualified. Just as a microscope is not qualified to say anything about the Saturn. I am not qualified, I will not say anything. Yes? This surrender itself is the solution.